your camera.
I don't care.
Okay.
I ain't that guy.
All right, so right now, I'm sitting here, my brother, Mr. Kevin Harris.
How y'all doing?
Kicking it, right? And we talking about podcasting. And I wanted to demonstrate to him how the streaming aspect of the podcast that I do works. So as we're streaming, right now, it's going through and it's hitting all of these data points. So it's going straight to YouTube, it's going to Periscope, it's going to Stream.me, and I got 2 Facebook pages open. Now, also, unlike a lot of other cameras, what I like about this one is I can change my mind and be like, hey, I want to go full screen.
Okay, I see.
And watch. Boom. It adjusts and on all of the sites.
I like that.
See.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So we could stream, do a podcast at the exact same time. So if I'm using my computer, because I do the actual podcast. But that's why I'm getting another computer so I can separate the podcast from my calls. And I use the speakers so that I can,
Right.
Right.
With that device we talked about, and you set up a second screen there, you can sit there and keep. Yeah. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
Right. So I'm growing, and of course, with you getting in the game, you're a little bit more technical. You're gonna be able to give me some tips on how to straighten some of this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And there's a nice little quality, and the mics on the phones are incredible. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we could do a little bit better with the little, Snowball and the Blue Yeti. I'm about to get a Blue Yeti eventually, y'all. I know I've been saying that for the last year, but y'all know we on a budget. We podcasting on a budget. So, and then now the only issue with this is that I will have to go out. My fault. Let me show you this piece here. Let's do this. I'm flipping you back up, phone. Get back up. I ain't gonna let you hang up right there. So now the other piece that this allows me to do is, now I can't send stuff into Facebook because Facebook hating. They won't let anybody send anything in no more. So I could see text from Facebook, but if I go here to the chat, I have to open up a whole nother screen. It allows you to see all the chats. It probably might take a second. But I'm warming up because one of my young brothers told me he wanted to go and let you know how many viewers you got. Shouts out to whoever out there. I'm just doing a demonstration. Now I will be doing a show tonight around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'm going to talk some business with some of the family, and we're going to talk a little bit about the mall, the marketplace that we're going to be doing, and then also we're going to talk about whatever's on Quasi's mind because he don't know it yet, but he going to be running the podcast tonight. I'm just going to be there. I'm going to be doing for him what I would like somebody to do for me on the computer and stuff. So, family, I want to thank those that's checking me out. Be on the lookout for Gye-Nyame Journey about 8, 9 o'clock because we're going to talk business first and then we're going to get on and we're going to go live. You got something you want to say to the people? Let them know about what's coming with your podcast.
Excellent. For those that don't know, I'm the owner of the Rolling Soul food truck. I ran the food truck for 2 years, but we're going to go in a different direction. We're looking to have a brick and mortar here in probably the next year. But in the meantime, I'm going to start my podcast called The Rolling Soul Road Show. I'm going to talk about various topics involving the food truck game and soul food because that's what I'm good at. That's what I know. That's what I want to share. And also talk about a couple projects I have coming up. There's a couple books that I want to put out prior to getting into the brick and mortar business because while I've got this free time, I've got this creative energy. There's some things that I think I want to share with the world.
All right, now, what was you had the food truck? Let me scoot this back a little bit. Let's go and adjust it so we, because yeah. Let's see, I'm still on the budget, y'all. Y'all got to remember that. This is Mr. Brown. We on the budget, or Brother Hot Tim, however you know me. Let's go scoot it back. So, what was your favorite thing to make on the food truck? Can you give it, because you got some beautiful descriptions. He showed me some shit. I don't even eat meat. And I was looking at that like, Go. So tell us about one of your favorite things to make when you was doing the truck, and one of the things that you're gonna keep on when you open up the brick and mortar.
So let me talk about two things that did not involve meat. That
Thank you.
It's okay. It's a show. So two things that were meatless, as it were the deep fried candy yam dumplings. When we started this food truck, me and my mother wanted to just have a food truck because I always wanted to have a diner. So it was a thing that we were going to do when I got older. I went to school. I went ahead and got my degree and picked up a master's. So it was time to kind of make one of those dreams come true. So I pulled that dream off the shelf, and I told her she had to make a signature dish, and I would. So the dish that I brought to the truck were the deep fried collard green egg rolls. So I made these egg rolls, and I had them both in vegetarian varieties, and I also had them made with turkey meat.
Wait, time out. Did you say collard green egg rolls?
Yes. So I sat there and made greens the normal way, cooked them slow and low, got them nice and tender, seasoned really well. And after that, I went ahead and added some onions, some bean sprouts to them, and used those to roll up wonderful, crispy egg rolls. And I had this sauce. I made the sauce with mango and a couple of peppers and a little bit of peach to kind of round it out. I called it Mango Tango. So I had these collard green egg rolls and my Mango Tango sauce. And really, I couldn't keep them on the truck, so I was constantly making those. They were constantly flying out. And the other thing that was made, I started talking about before, my mother, she makes really good candy yams. So we're trying to figure out a way to make candy yams food truck-like. So what we came up with was the deep fried candy yam dumpling, patent pending. I got the paperwork in on this one. So what you have is, if you took sweet potato pie and cheesecake and combined them, okay, so you've got a pie crust with candy yams and a sweet and cream cheese on the inside, deep fried, and that's going to be covered with caramel and a little bit of whipped cream, powdered sugar. I mean, it's amazing. It's got a little handle on it. When you bite into it, it's just like, I know it's nearly impossible to eat sweet potato pie out the oven, but it'd be like eating sweet potato pie out the oven. It's everything. Everybody loved it, whether you're a sweet potato pie fan, whether you were a pumpkin pie fan, everybody loved it. So those are two of the things that continue on when we have a brick and mortar. I see my brother Joe Barry out there is listening.
I see. You know Joe Barry. What's up, Joe? Man, I still got this gallon, man. What's going on, man? Told you got, you family, you got credit. So, hey, now, and I know the food truck is closed, man, but I got to get one of those egg. I got to get some of those egg rolls, man. I mean, listen, he said, what are they called?
So I will
collard green egg rolls.
I will go ahead and make you some collard green egg rolls, vegetarian. The vegetarian egg rolls, instead of using smoked meat, I use vegetable stock to season. So I didn't have to worry about using the smoked turkey, whatever. I make up a vegetable stock, wonderful collard green egg rolls, and I'll make up a fresh batch of mango tango sauce for you. Let you try those out. Since you're in the neighborhood, it's gonna be so hard to get those to you.
Right, we're gonna and we're gonna eat those when he start his show. So he gonna be podcasting and eventually streaming. I'm on stream, and I'm going to eat those with y'all right here on the journey. I want y'all to be able to see some of the businesses that we have. Now, we're going to be having a market going on here.
Oh, I mean, I'd love to be a part of it. Like I said, I'm not running my truck right now, but Rolling So is still a business. I've done some catering things since I haven't been operating my truck, but ultimately the focus is to move towards opening the brick and mortar.
What made you want to have a diner?
As a kid growing up in Lorraine, it was diners were a big part of everything. Mm-hmm. My father worked in a steel mill, so some of my favorite memories were eating at the diner across the street from the steel mill on over 28th Street. So I was like, I can do this. I'd love to have my own show. So I've eaten at various diners across the nation, as it were, and trying to figure out exactly how I want to do it. And I'll talk more about that when I have my own show going. But ultimately, it's a fun thing. It's a way to get back. It's a way to connect. It's a way to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of great things that I made. I was showing Hot Tim here. I was showing him the wonderful.
Sweet.
No. I was showing you the fried green tomatoes with the black eyed pea sauce with the gorgonzola and the garlic drizzle. So I mean, that was the one thing that I was doing a pop up in a bar over on campus, and I had those out there, and they were that was one of the features one night, and I posted that on Facebook when I was out there. But lots of creative things, lots of I can I've done gluten-free meals. I've done vegetarian things. Of course, I'm pretty good at making things with pork. I won that contest. And
wait, what contest you talking about? You
there was a few years back, Sugardale Bacon. They have this annual contest for the Grand Bacon Champion, as it were. And
baking or bacon?
Well, Sugardale Bacon. So
okay.
So the contest, it wasn't a baking contest. It was the Bake On contest. Okay. And nationwide contest. They held it locally that year. It was over at the Ohio State University. And what happened with that is the finalists were there. So there were about 10 of us finalists there, and they had the 3 stations set up, kind of like on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They had the clock going.
Mm-hmm.
So you had 30 minutes of prep time, 30 minutes of cook time. Needless to say, I won that whole contest with a dish that I created. It was a bacon-crusted chicken saltimbocca with a bacon wild mushroom cream sauce. A lot of meat in there, a lot of pork. So it may not be your flavor, but trust me, it was wonderful. I won $3,000 in a year's supply of bacon. So I took the $3,000 and put that towards the money that eventually became the food truck. And, well, the bacon became a lot of bacon things. I mean, you kind of do a lot with bacon when you have, like, I think they gave me, like, 55 pounds of bacon. That's what they considered a year's supply of bacon.
55 pounds of bacon.
It was like a pack a week.
That's a lot of bacon.
You start wrapping bacon on everything. You start making bacon-wrapped baked potatoes. I mean, everything had bacon on it because you had so much. I was giving bacon away.
I haven't had bacon in a long time, but I'm not going to be one of those in front. Bacon was one of those hard ones to give up. But he did this one thing. He got a video called the Sweet Sticky Thing. Now, meat. Now, y'all know but this shit looks so good because he did the meat. But then he tell us about the cold. Tell us about the cold.
So the Sweet Sticky Thing was my play on a pulled pork sandwich. So I took the pulled pork, marinated it, lots of garlic, cooked it in a traditional Puerto Rican, Cuban style. They would call it a pernil. So I went ahead and cooked it slow and low, about 8-9 hours. Went ahead, deboned it, pulled it, sauced with my own homemade sauce. So in the video, which you may have seen or you will see on my Facebook page, I topped it with soul slaw. So I was playing Sweet Sticky Thing in the background, and you can see in the video I'm making the sandwich. I'm putting on the coleslaw, fresh banana peppers on it, and I set it down. And while they're singing Sweet Sticky Thing in the background, I've got the barbecue sauce, and I'm slowly drizzling on there. It's really nice.
Tell me about that coleslaw, man.
Okay, so the coleslaw is was cabbage and apples and carrots and collards and a homemade dressing. So we made everything scratch. Everything was fresh. Everything was crispy. Wonderful coleslaw. So there were people who would just come to the food truck just to get coleslaw.
That's what I'm. Now, also, he's a fermenter as well because he does his own pickles, and he has some of these meals with one of those pickles. Tell us about your fermenting experience as far as your truck. Because did you buy pickles or did you make them yourself?
A friend of mine said I should use her family's pickle recipe. So with that, I'm not opposed to that. Bread and butter style pickle. So you're looking at the pickle, and it's got a little bit of onion for character, to bringing those notes in, those earthy notes, but nice, sweet, tangy pickle. Kind of like a bread and butter kind of sweet pickle. But it was great on the On the before the sweet sticky thing, there was the pulled pork slider. I called them when I won that contest with the bacon. They called me Papa Pork, so I called the sliders Papa Pork sliders, and the sandwich had the soul slaw and those homemade pickles on it and those sliders. So back when I first started out, I would serve 2 of those sliders, and they were nice, healthy sliders. You can see them on the website for $5.
Wait, tell me your website.
The website was rollingsoul.guru, guru because I feel as though I'm pretty much a savant and whatnot when it comes to cooking soul food. People who liked us really love the taste. They claimed that I knew a lot more than I should have known for the amount of years I was cooking it. We put that in with the knowledge my mother brings to the table. She had been a caterer, cooking since she was younger. We had our own unique flavor, and we seem to have a pretty good following base.
All right. So now he will be starting a podcast. Tell him what the podcast name is again.
Keeping the name there so that my fans would know me and keep the base where it was, the Rolling Soul Roadshow. So we're developing the concept. I'm going to talk about my experiences running a food truck, getting the food truck started. I'm also going to talk about some of my favorite recipes. And to keep the roadshow piece relevant, I'm a bigger guy. I like to eat. I like to travel. So I'm also going to be reviewing some of the local restaurants. So you'll be able to get with me if you'd like to be on my podcast, or I'll be contacting you. So lots of good things to come in the future.
You can follow him on Spreaker, Spreaker.com. And just look up the name of the podcast. He will be launching soon. We're working on getting this stuff together right now as we speak. So, family, I'm just letting you know this Gye-Nyame journey. We will be coming at you tonight. We're going to do a freestyle Nia. I can't say today because y'all know I'd have to do push-ups. But, family, I want to thank y'all for taking the time and checking this out. And remember, hold on. Do I got my sound effects? Yeah, I got my sound effects. My fault. Hold on, family. I want to remind you that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simple production. Of course, we just laying back and talking to some of our family, right? This is a Heart of a Simple production. We strive to do nothing but blow up your old paradigms. Miss Tracy, I'm on my way. Peace.